system to be used by the town. So you would guess that the first thing you should actually do is go try and fix the panel as quickly as possible, and then prepare to do this. Does that make sense? Especially because you've now got a compromised part of the entire system, and you're about to do something very complicated in shutting the portal down, but keep the rest of it running. So that's your sense, is that it would definitely work better to do it that way. And Ymir is... okay.
I just want to make a note. I want to combat ready my hammer. Ymir has had his axes out, but he's kind of sheathed them since his encounter with the super being earlier. And so his axes are going to stay on his hip, and he's going back to using his massive star metal maul.
Okay. You guys now see the monk appear at the door and start walking through over towards the portal and Harmony. You go ahead and ready your maul. Let's go ahead and make sure that is... I want to make sure...
Ready Worldmaker, turn that off. Oh.
Okay, so... I'm going to take a quick
doing that glitch thing again. I'll get out. If you want to do it, Odin, I'll get out of my character sheet so we're not stepping over each other.
Oh, is that? Yep, I see.
Yeah, no, that's what was happening. My hands are out of it now, so go ahead and do what you do, please.
I just want to make sure you're all set up for
respect. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, that's one thing. Goddamn, if I could change that, I definitely would. I hate that they do it that way. Combat ready Worldmaker. I think we'll just make sure we have one built correctly, and so we need all of this. We can keep that. And actually, for this to work right, it should just be blunt. There we go. With Worldmaker, that's doing a bonus to strike, I believe. And that should be good. And do you have your armor still summoned? You still had it on, right?
It had a 30-minute duration, and I don't know how long it's been since then, so maybe. I know it took damage from the spider demon that's now cleaved in half there, but...
Yeah, you're still at 205, though. You're good.
Yeah.
That all looks good, so let's apply picked. And that should all be set. We're going to hit active, and that is ready to go. Beautiful. All right. I am out of your character sheet, sir. Now,
thank you.
Guys, who just clicked on that and made that marker go off? I've been wanting... What did you do to do that? I know it's a...
Just held, I guess, left click. Yeah, hold left click down and press it. Yeah.
There is supposed to be a way for me to get everybody's attention. Let me see if this works. Did that just bring all of your guys' screen over?
Yes.
God
damn.
It did. Bear, thank you, man. Ping. You just fucking helped so much, man. I really, really have been trying to remember. I saw that in one of the videos. I'm like, what the fuck was it? All right, perfect. Yeah, I'm going to be using that a lot. So
I just moved Ymir because he took the can from Akama's hand, put it in his pack, and stood next to his ally.
But before we get there, she had reached out and stopped Akama. I do want to give Ren an opportunity. What would you like to start doing as all of this is happening and you've realized all of this?
Can you give me, I'm sorry, a quick rundown? My little brother just called me, so I muted myself.
It's no problem at all, man. Essentially, you had realized that you're going to be able to shut everything down in about 30 seconds, but that you definitely want to go over and repair the panel first, because having any part of the system corrupted or malfunctioning when you try and do something so sophisticated is going to reduce your chances of things going correctly. It's also going to lose a lot of the power that would have been left over after the portal shuts down. So you would guess that that's probably the first thing you should do, and then you're good to go in 30 seconds notice to have the portal off.
Okay. Yeah, then that's what I would definitely want to do.
Okay.
Just go shut it down, yeah.
You head over at top speed, you get over to the panel, and you start to diagnose it. Why don't you head into your skills and see if you have something like, mechanical repair, any kind of repair skill or engineering, anything like that. You definitely have materials on board that we discussed before to replace the 3 broken connections, the 3 broken lines. And as you're getting that set, Harmony, as you're getting that set, you passed by the monk, who nods at you on his way past, and he moves over between Harmony and the portal and looks at you guys each with a respectful nod as well, and then looks down at Harmony over his shoulder as he's standing with his energy staff facing towards the portal. He actually has it in a defensive posture, and he's basically trying to defend the group and Harmony in particular from anything that may emerge from the portal. He looks back over his shoulder down at her as she's got her hand on your hand, Akama, and she's kind of catching her breath. And as he looks over his shoulder, he says in a thick German accent, he says, Mistress, what is thy bidding? She catches her breath, and she says to you, Akama, inject them all in his neck. And then her head falls forward, and she begins kind of struggling to catch her breath again, obviously exhausted once more.
So the monk's gonna do it.
At this, she drops her hand. You get the impression she was actually talking about Ymir.
Oh, okay.
She saw that you were handing 2 of them over, and she basically wanted to let you know, use them all. Okay, and at this, she's kind of out of it again. What would you guys like to be doing? I know Ren is working on the panel. Ymir and Akama.
I hand the rest of it to him. So Ymir.
Okay, you hand the whole satchel over, all 6 doses.
Well, 4 doses because he has 2.
Sure, absolutely. Ymir, what would
6.
What would you like to do?
Ymir takes the canisters, looks over at the monk, because did Harmony, you said, passed out, correct? So he couldn't converse with her?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. Ymir, translator still out, or maybe the monk and him can converse Gigantes or Russian. Ymir nods to Akama, takes the full one, knowing what he's asking him to do, looks at the monk and goes, what dangers might I face on the other side? What am I looking for?
He looks over at you, and you actually are not sure if he understands you. He looks at you kind of just with a vague kind of acknowledging respect. He nods at you very simply, and he points 2 fingers forward at you, and then those same 2 fingers back at himself, and you see that he bows his head for just a moment, and then a very, very bright green shimmering field starts radiating off of his form. And at first it looks kind of diffused like candlelight in a thick fog. But as a couple of seconds go by, this light coalesces into something with depth and weight, and it forms into a thin, almost crystalline shell of energy around his form. And as soon as this is completed, he looks up at you with now shimmering greenish features that seem to be masked in a thin layer of glass-like energy. And he points those same two fingers at the portal and turns back towards it and prepares to enter. Okay?
So am I to understand that he is going to be like a guide, like he and I are going into the portal together? When
that is the
Ymir
impression you get. Absolutely.
Okay. Then seeing his nonverbal communication and understanding what the warrior is trying to convey, Ymir looks at Akama, nods his head, and takes all of the canisters and follows Harmony instructions and jams them directly in his neck, one after the other, and juices himself up, basically, full of this shit.
Okay.
It's coming out his pores.
Fucking nose and shit.
Yeah.
All right, so you start slamming these fuckers, and as you get to like the fourth one, you definitely, it's starting to make you feel a little sick. You're
Right.
starting to feel like there's some really weird shit running through your veins right now. You're definitely not used to this level of chemical in your system, and this stuff you're realizing has some kind of some kind of amphetamine like properties that's obviously meant to counter your system being co-opted by radiation and starting to shut down. And so you start feeling a real spike of not necessarily aggression, but energy and purpose, and a real clarity of focus. Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely beyond coffee, but yes, absolutely. So by the time you hit the sixth one, you feel like you're riding the Thunderbolt. You are really really juiced up. All right, and you just drop the empty canisters to the floor. Your neck is a little bit sore where all that shit went in, but after just a few seconds, it feels fine. You take a deep breath, and a thick sheen of sweat you could feel it kind of run down your brow just a little bit as you realize for the first time in a while you're actually got a little bit of a sweat going. Ren, you are ready if you want to make your roll to see about repairing that. Did you find any kind of skill that looked applicable?
Yeah, I have I've got mechanical engineer. I've
That'll
got
work.
basic electronics. I've got computer programming, computer repair.
Engineer's definitely the one.
Okay.
Definitely.
So am I
And
rolling
we're
that
gonna
skill
give
then?
you, yeah, you're going to have a bonus on this roll of 10. Because you've already actually you already
Got in the
diagnosed
system,
this.
all right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you were literally here before you already figured out exactly what you needed to do and did a successful roll, so.
So then for modifier, I just put 10.
Correct.
Okay. Fucking kidding me.
Okay, that did at least it rolled it right. I'm glad to see that. Okay, so as you go to repair it, you go to finish up the connections on the second line, and you notice that there is quite a bit more damage to the female input than you thought there was, and you're going to have to basically do a little bit of repair to that before you're going to be able to finish that part. So you would guess that you're gonna need just, you know, an extra 10-15 seconds. Let's see. Okay, Akama, what are you doing?
Hold on.
Someone chewing.
I'm gonna sit down on my butt and go into a meditative state. But before I do that, I'm gonna look at the portal next to me, and I'm gonna cast Dimensional Sense.
Excellent. Okay, do me a favor and read me the description for that.
It's a lot.
Well, here, actually, jump out of your character and give me 2 seconds because I could just
Done.
read it over. Perfect. Okay. Okay, now this is going to take 1d4 minutes. Are you okay expending that much time? I want to make sure. Okay. Go ahead and roll a 4-sided die.
Nice, 2 minutes. Better than 4.
I was thinking it was gonna be high since we've all been rolling high today when we don't want to roll high. I was like, he's gonna roll fucking 4, dude. Oh fuck. Roll a D100. Oh cool, I'll get something low. This is awesome. 78.
99.
Fuck. Yeah, exactly.
99. I'm like, wait, what?
Okay, so when it is time, I'm going to come back to this when we roll. All right. 2 minutes.
Two game minutes would be next session. No.
Yeah, feels like it. Okay.
Congratulations, guys. We've been playing for a year. We are on day 2.
All right, so you are beginning the brief meditation and ritual necessary to glean the information from the other side. You would guess, I want to throw this out there, you would guess that since this is not a magical portal, you may have a little bit more trouble doing this than normal. You may have a little bit of a negative on the roll, okay? Let's see. Okay, Ymir is all juiced up. Monk's good to go. Harmony's still catching her breath. Ren, if you would like to make another roll, you can.
Yes. Another. Do I get the 10 modifier again?
Yes. Actually, this time, make it 20. Excellent.
My character back up?
Easy peasy.
What's that?
Can I open my character back up?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Making sure.
I was just letting you know that, you know. Yeah. I'll definitely need to read over that. That's one of the longest spells in the game. It looks like Jesus Christ. All right, so Ren, you are easily able this time to just finish up what's relatively a simple procedure for you. You make the connections, get everything powered back up, and basically close up the panel as much as it's physically able to, and take a few precautions to make sure that, moisture or nothing else is going to get in there and just fuck everything up easily. So as you get things kind of bent back into shape and the panel closed back up, you're confident that you were successful, and as you glance over your shoulder at the power transformer in the middle of that room, you realize that the slow arcing fields of plasma making little lightning bolts go across the transformer periodically have now ceased, and the thing looks to be operating at 100% efficiency. You were successful. So, I assume you're wanting to come back into the room?
Yes.
Are you wanting
Please,
to get
thank you.
prepped to do the portal?
Yes.
Okay. You are set to go. Ymir, you are set to go. Harmony does not look like she is snapping out of it anytime soon. Akama, you are still casting. Now, you notice, Akama, that Ymir and the monk appear ready to go. And you would guess that you still have roughly a minute and a half before you're going to be able to actually cast this and give them the details. Now, you still, essentially I want to know, are you wanting to communicate this to them? Are you wanting to just let them go and then cast it afterwards? What is it you'd like to do?
I'll let them know that
Okay,
I'm trying to get
give me the briefest sentence you can, as your guy is basically like eyes closed, meditating and casting. Say it in the briefest way that you actually can to communicate it.
Gentlemen, bear with me. I'm trying to sense what's on the other side for safety.
Okay. At this, the monk, without turning around, he whispers, "'Tis only death. Only death awaits us." And he bows his head and goes down to one knee and seems to make some kind of strange religious somatic gesture with his left hand in front of his bowed head. And then he rises back up to his feet and prepares to go through. Ymir, the monk is not just stepping through, however, and he seems to be deferring to you as far as when to do that. What are you going to do now that you've heard what Akama had to say?
Ymir recognizes the warrior's kind of pre-battle ritual. He understands, maybe not quite exactly what he's doing, but he understands the intent of the warrior's gesture. So he looks over at the monk and pounds his chest, but then hearing what Akama said, he stops, rests as gently as he can, his massive paw on the monk's shoulder as in a gesture to say, hold a moment, while Akama does his spell.
Okay. At this, he just ever so slightly just kind of nods, and you both just take up a kind of waiting posture.
Yep. Hammer ready, mind you. Ymir has his hammer out, draped over his shoulder, ready for combat.
Okay.
In his hands, ready, because he doesn't know what he faces on the other side of this portal.
Okay.
And it clearly ain't nothing good.
All right, so you guys are set to go. Precious seconds tick by. Really, Ren, you're the one that's got some time. Do you have anything that you're wanting to do?
I mean, as far as what's happening at the moment, I mean, you guys are getting ready to go through the portal. Am I not going through the portal from I'm confused by that.
You're not
'Cause I
going
was-
in the portal.
No,
Yeah,
it's
I didn't
me
think so
and
because
the monk.
it's just you and the monk because you took all the stuff. So there's nothing I
Yep.
can really do except for on this side. So I'm just gonna, I mean, I guess just wait. I mean,
I'll look at Ren and say.
I will say,
ready?
it will with the translator on so both can understand. It will take a little bit of time to shut down the portal. So if you can give us advanced warning, or when you can give us warning, hold them off for about half a minute is what I'll need. Just so everyone's on the same page. Boom. And that's all I can really think of doing at the moment.
Okay. You let them know that, no problem at all. Ymir, did you get the intention he's putting out there and everything, I assume?
Yes, he said he had the translator on, so Ymir understands that. You're talking about if we have anything near the portal, though, correct?
Yeah,
if
something's following you back. You got to block it for about 30 seconds before it
Gotcha.
can not
Gotcha.
come. Yeah.
Yes, Ymir understands he must defend the position.
They're 30 seconds
for
away
some-
from you, put good. But if they're like right on your tail, try to slow them down so
Understood.
you can get through safely and they can
completely.
not get through.
Perfect.
He looks at Ren and nods very sternly in understanding and agreement.
Excellent. That's actually what I was hoping for right there. That gives me an idea of how long it actually took you guys to communicate back and forth. And so now we're down to about 30 seconds left, okay? And you definitely get all of that information for your character now. No worries at all. Everything is set. You feel the ritual beginning to peak, Akama. Yeah, right? You start kind of clenching a little. The sheets go. Anyway, okay, so you're all set. And right as the ritual begins to coalesce, Harmony is able to open her eyes, and she slowly sits up into like a cross-legged kind of position, and she's actually facing right towards you, Akama, as you're basically sitting in a meditative position in front of, well, obviously where you can see on the map, facing the portal. You reach out with one hand as your senses expand, and you feel yourself begin to try and link with the portal. Okay, I am going to open up your character sheet and take
Let me get out.
No worries at all.
Good.
Okay. I gotta admit, guys, I love these abilities that are so damn complex. They're kind of hard mechanically, but I like this kind of stuff. Telemechanics is the same way, in my opinion. Okay, so right there. Okay, so you're gonna be doing that roll. I think we'll just do it as a straight roll. And okay, so go ahead and roll D100, and you're going to need a 50% or below.
Hey.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Yeah, this makes you wait 8 hours if you fail. That's insane, man. Dimensional sense type. Okay. So you right away pick up, and this is an option I will give you, but you definitely don't have to use it. As you're doing a dimension sense like this, you can say that you want to, you basically want to chant the information that you're getting as it comes in so that your companions and people close will be able to actually understand what you're picking up. Just like at a seance or something like that, if you imagine it that way.
I feel
you don't have to do that
on the other
though.
side.
Right? Exactly. Or you could just shut up and it's just for you. And then you're the broker of that knowledge. You know what I mean? So anyway, would you like to make this public, or do you want to just keep it to yourself?
Keep it to myself, and then just relay with information as needed.
Okay. You realize that this is a pocket dimension on the other side. You realize that it has an impenetrable dimensional fabric. And that means that this is an incredibly rare type of dimension where it is so hard to get into it and out of it that a lot of times they're used as cosmic scale prisons for like cosmic level entities. So if you have a rogue alien intelligence, or a god would actually be too weak to do this to, but something of truly incredible proportions of power and strength, this is a great place to seal something like that up so it can't keep wreaking havoc and just destroy everything. So in that way, definitely very, very not unique, but extremely rare. It cannot support human life. It seems to have almost no magic on the other side of the portal at all. This dimension seems to be basically only predicated on scientific principles. It seems like the energy matrix means that it's probably a mega damage environment, and anything that was mega damage on this side would go through and be converted, equally. Whereas in some places, if you go through, you're actually going to become like an SDC creature and be kind of powered down in some ways. It is a mortal realm, and that coincides with the fact that it's, not based on magic. And by that I just mean it's not supernatural, where it's, it's like a dimension of shadows or something like that. Okay, and it's not a place like Hades or Duval or Hell or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It is not filled with any kind of entities or spirits that you can sense. But much like the elemental planes, it is completely hostile to humanoid life. You do not sense any alien intelligences. And the only dimensional quirk that you're sensing is an incredibly high level of radiation. Radiation so high that it rivals a lot of deep space phenomenon, being in close proximity to some of the things cosmically that can produce some of the highest levels of radiation out there. You don't sense any ley lines or nexus points. And you don't sense really any dimensional activity because it's kind of in its own little pocket. And you do not sense any dimensional anomalies within your sensing distance around the other side of the portal.
What was that last part? You didn't sense any what?
Any other dimensional anomalies, like you're
Gotcha.
not sensing any other rifts or anything. And you're definitely not sensing any ley line nexi, I don't know what the term is, or stone pyramids.
Yep.
And that is it. That is everything that you're able to glean.
Perfect.
So would you like, is there anything you want to share or reveal?
Yeah. I'll go ahead and say this is a pocket dimension that is very high in radiation, and usually it's made for beings to be jailed or sealed on the other side. What I can get from it is it does not support human life, and it's completely hostile, so be on your P's and Q's. Be careful.
Okay.
Ymir, hearing this, nods his head, sort of with a fighter spirit. That fighting spirit has returned to him. He's not angry. He's more, he's got resting Kuznia face, if I could describe it. Just,
that's good.
and he nods at a comma and turns his back and looks at the monk like, we shall go forward. And then he raises his giant fist up as he takes his step towards the portal, so his allies can see behind him in quiet resolve, like see you on the other side, as he makes his way towards the portal with the monk.
All right, excellent. You begin stepping through. Ren, what are you doing?
Ren is AFK right
Oh,
now.
I'm back. I'm
Somebody's-
back now.
He's
Okay.
back.
Okay.
I'm back. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. I'm just gonna get what everybody's doing real quick, and then I think we should go ahead and take our break. We're gonna be right at the 3-hour mark, and then we can kind of finish up the last hour.
I'm gonna see that Akama is sitting cross-legged, looks like he's focused, and I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, what are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Akama, what are you doing?" No, no, I'm gonna prep near the control and just kind of be ready to go as soon as I see anything. Just kind of be finger on the trigger type thing.
Go ahead and give me a D100. Actually, you have computer programming, right?
Yes.
Go ahead and give me a quick roll on that, and
Okay.
see if maybe you can get a little bonus here.
You said, am I adding a modifier or no?
No, this
Okay.
is to give you
Sorry,
a bonus.
you said bonus. That's why.
Sorry
Okay.
about that.
No, that's fine.
Beautiful. Okay, so as you start kind of just doing some pre-diagnostic type routine functions, you actually are able to, cut the time from 30 seconds down to 15 seconds.
Oh, excellent.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. And
Thank you for that.
Absolutely. And okay, so Akama, what are you wanting to do as they start walking forward into the portal?
Just gonna keep continuing the meditative state.
They're not through the portal yet. They're walking. They're entering now.
Yes.
They're about to enter soon. Yeah.
That's the case. Then I'll just yell out, 15 seconds.
All right. You definitely hear him, Ymir. Do you want to acknowledge it or just go?
No, I acknowledge it and then put the translator back into my pack just to make sure that's out there. And
Okay.
so both Ymir is combat ready, about to walk towards the portal. Translator is back in his pack.
Okay. All right. Excellent. And so Akama, you're meditating, like you want to go into full meditation where you're starting to try and recharge some of your
How long would it take?
I mean, it's kind of impractical in this situation, but I mean, that's what I'm wondering is if you're wanting to go into that full deep kind of thing, because I think it's like per half an hour or per hour or something like that. I think the lowest we can go down to is like half an hour. So,
Okay.
as far as recharging stuff, but if you want to just, that's what I mean is if you want to just kind of meditate or whatever, that's fine too. So.
How is Harmony?
She's definitely doing better. She's starting to rise to her feet.
All right. I'm gonna rise to my feet with her.
Okay. She
then,
kind of tries to put an arm around you for support and is definitely appreciative. She seems like she's starting to gather her strength back.
And then I will put my arm around her,
Okay.
like as a brace.
Okay.
And then I want to walk her toward the control panel next to Ren.
Okay. All right. Excellent. And you are.
And then I'll put my arm around her and go 3-way. No, I'm joking.
All right. So. Okay. So that's where everybody's going to be right when we pick up. And
Indeed.
We are good to go. Okay. Let's take 5 minutes, and I will be right back, guys.
Are you stopping your recording?
Long time ago.
Oh, you did a long time ago. You mean?
Like 2 seconds ago.
No, okay. That's not a long time.
Right when he said, "All right, take the break," I stopped it.
Just making sure.
It's okay, man. I try to be on point as much as I can.
Man, as soon as I think one thing's like done, 5 more things pop up.
You get that brief understanding of what's on the other side.
Actually, could you go over that with me real quick? Because my brother called to tell. Remember earlier when I said, "Oh, the Green Ranger died." My brother called. He's like, "Hey, Eric, did you hear?" And he said like some actor's name. I'm like, "I don't know who that is." He goes, "Who's the Green Ranger?" I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, apparently he committed suicide.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and my brother was obsessed with Power Rangers when he was a kid. So like I don't know, but so he called during that, and then same time my mom was texting me about
The Green Ranger?
the stupid house thing.
Oh.
So I was just like, fuck. And I didn't want to interrupt because he was like in the middle of saying something. I didn't want to be like, stop talking and describing what you're doing so I can tell you that I'm busy. So I was just like, everyone wasn't directly at me. So, but yeah, if you could give me a quick.
So it's a pocket dimension that is able to jail or seal somebody from the other side.
Okay, and it's not sustainable for. Yeah, I heard that part. That doesn't support human life or humanoid life.
It's a mortal realm, which means it's not like spirits and shit in there.
Okay.
It's completely hostile.
So it's like a physical realm,
human.
meaning? Like not a spiritual or.
It's like Earth.
Okay.
And it's really high in radiation, and that's it, really.
Okay.
He said this pocket dimension is a rare dimension, and it's hard to get in and out. Usually made for like jail, kind of like Superman, how he has that dimension he puts that fucking dude in.
Zod in like that little like mirror fucking thing that they get floating away
exactly.
in. So it's like a if you ever played the Elden Ring, there are jails, the old school spelling, G or whatever. And then there's these like circle they're like these like circular platforms that if you go to the center you can enter them and you're in this like pocket dimension where these powerful creatures are kept.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Man, I was really hoping that my see invisibility with my telekinesis and my force bonds could all work to make that fuse that bear with space back together. Yeah, I know, but I mean the other ideas didn't work out. Which I mean, it was a stretch because I mean, see invisible. I was like, it's possible because the things aren't really invisible. I just can't see them because they're in his face. Yeah. And then the force bonds is like creating basically like these like mega damage manacles on a creature. So like it's like I'm not using the spell as intended, but I'm forcing these items together to seal something. So I was hoping that would work too. It was just a shot in the dark.
Yeah.
Trying to be creative with the way the spells worked. Now, the thing is, I think I could create things like I could create techno wizardry things that use those spells to create different effects like that. But just casting the spell naturally like that, I don't think works so much that way.
I'm just glad we reset Wotek's face.
I've got an idea now, though. I've got an idea for like if I can find like a cast type system. You know there was like the late 80s, early 90s, there were those they were like, it was like a plastic case that had a ton of pins in it, and if you could put your hand and make different shapes with it,
Right.
All right, like picture like a device that could like shape and morph or like have programmed into it a cast type shape. And then I could use techno-wizardry to like say someone has a broken arm. It would form the shape of their arm. They'd place their broken arm into that, and then I could have spells fire off that could help close and mend and use those spells in a way to quickly heal
I'm back.
that person by fusing together their different parts. Same thing with like could shape the face of a bear, put that over the bear's face, and it kind of do all the things for it.
By the way, guys, if you guys are able to, I've got 2 more hours before I have to be gone. That'll be right at 5 o'clock my time, but I gotta be off right then. So if you guys want, we could do that. If you'd, I know I told you an hour earlier than that before, but just throwing that out there.
No, I've got to be done at 7:30 my time, which that's a little earlier than early, but that's a plenty long session. I'm fine with that. That's right around when you said you had to go, isn't it? Bear, or do you have to go earlier?
Another 2 hours I could definitely do from now 6 o'clock for sure, because it's 4:03 right now.
Yeah.
So,
and
yeah,
I'll definitely we'll be off at 5 or a few minutes before for sure. So.
Okay.
6 hours. Okay, cool.
Excellent. And then what we may do is I may just get with each of you this week at some point, and we'll maybe do the XP then, because it's gonna take a little bit. It's gonna take a little bit, and you'll see what I mean when you do it the first time on here. But anyway, we'll get to all of that as we're able to. Okay, so we are pretty much ready to go. Right as we get started here, I want to
start now.
I want to make sure that everybody is where they need to be, and then Bear, you and I are gonna hop on over into a different Discord channel real quick. And
Hello?
There we go. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, sir.
I just was responding to Dex saying hello.
Okay, so let's go like this. Just give me 2 seconds to get these all set up. There we go. All right, so as they step through the portal, The rest of you just see them entering that shimmering field of silvery liquid, and then they are gone. Okay, at that point, you guys lose all communication with them, and Bear, I need you to go ahead and jump over to the in-game chat only channel if you would.
Sure.
All right, guys, we will be right back. You can discuss whatever you'd like amongst yourselves. All right, Bear, you good?
Yes, sir.
All right, so as you step through the portal, the entire cosmos opens up before you. This time, unlike many of the others where you've traveled through rifts on this planet, it feels as though your atoms themselves are ripped apart and flung halfway across the great open expanses of sky that you've often dreamt about slumbering beneath the Russian stars. Give me just one moment, sir. Okay. Now, are you seeing this new map in front of you?
All I see is a black square, sir.
Okay. What I am going to do is just take off the dynamic lighting. Perfect. Okay, can you see the whole board around you now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. All right, so as you step through the portal, you see that out before you, the vast expanse seems withered and irradiated by a deathly and cruel red light streaming in from what you have heard called before a deathly star. Now, you don't know enough about civilized man's sciences to know exactly what the phenomena would be called by their most intelligent shamans and wise men. But you do know that whatever this phenomenon is that occurs in space, it is the product usually of a star falling in on itself and then becoming basically a great hungry void in the heavens. And when this happens sometimes, it starts releasing tremendous amounts of incredibly deadly energy. And unfortunately, some worlds would wind up being in the path of this. Now, as you look up into the sky and see this above you, you realize that whatever this place is, that indeed is the calamity that it suffered. That fate is exactly what happened to this world to strip it of all life. And as you look around before you, you see that even the inanimate, inorganic materials are being second by second withered away by the almost impossible levels of radiation they're being exposed to. As you see this, you look around for just a brief second, and you also see that there appear to be strange organisms that have begun to grow from the structures around you. And it almost seems like the radiation itself has begun creating some kind of quasi-life and using the inanimate material around it as its almost like it's protein chains or biological tissue. And in this way, this new kind of material is being born out of this hellish landscape. You are certain that whatever this is, it would be incredibly deadly to any kind of life that you know, at least on Rift's Earth. This could potentially be something that could wipe out all organic life on the planet without even needing to have that stellar phenomenon in the close proximity. Just this stuff coming through might be enough to start this process on the planet. So keep that in mind as you're looking around at this stuff.
Thank you for transporting me to fucking Red November SCP bullshit, brother. You don't think I get the reference? I do.
Now, as you're looking around, you see that Pilgrim is actually right next to you. She appears to be maybe 10 feet from you. In fact, we're going to go like this. Okay, good. And you're roughly here. And he came out right about here. So you look around and you see that Pilgrim is actually only about 10 feet from you. You notice that the landscape around you is desolate, wasteland, hellish, and devoid of anything comforting to the eye or spirit whatsoever. You notice that whatever happened to this world as this stellar phenomenon stripped it of life, it was probably as bad as any mortals could make it for themselves, because there are just innumerable bodies and discarded materials everywhere, and it looks like violence was definitely the calling card of the end for these sad and pitiful creatures. There does not appear to be anything that could ever be useful for reclamation or construction, nor anything valuable, because everything's probably been so deeply irradiated that just holding on to soil from this side of the portal would probably be deadly within a matter of hours. All right. You also see that the individual that you now know to be the Patriot is standing several feet away from a strange and exotic looking creature. Now, this creature seems to be squared off with the Patriot and actually somehow appears to be holding its own against this incredibly powerful individual, even in the midst of this radiation. You see that this is the Patriot's opponent. Okay. Now, as you're looking at this individual, you're able to tell that it appears to be heavily predicated on technology, but you also notice that many of its systems seem to you, in your expertise in forging, your expertise in some of the war machines that you've encountered, this creature appears to be harvesting the ambient radiation all around it and becoming stronger for that collection. You see that it seems to have some kind of shimmering, bright green field that every time the two opponents get close to each other seems to flare into a more profound sense of solidity, where even brushing blows that the Patriot seems to aim her way seem to be bouncing off of this field harmlessly, and she appears able to do whatever she needs to counter his speed with his attacks as well. They truly seem in a stalemate, although you're not really seeing this individual attack the Patriot at all, just defend itself. Okay, at this, you look around, and as they basically are in conflict with each other, you have an opportunity to decide what to do.
Take a look at my skills here.